Today on the Mancade, we're going to investigate whether it's worthwhile to replace the stock Asteroids arcade 1-up spinner for the GRS arcade spinner via Glenn's Retro Show. The short answer is, geez, I sure hope so. And the long answer is this video. So the first thing you want to do before you do any modifications to your arcade 1-up cabinet, of course, turn the power off. And usually what I do is I go to the back to the menu screen and power off from there, and unhook the power cable. Just make sure, just be safe, you never know. And you want to remove the 4 screws holding down your control deck. I have the deck protector, the plexiglass deck protector, so we're going to take these screws out. Then you're going to lift off the deck protector and the artwork underneath. Carefully. See, not bad. Actually looks pretty good. This was a good deal. And Canadian too. All right, so the next thing we're going to do is we're going to take this off and then we're going to just disconnect the ribbon cable underneath. I've already done so. It's really just a matter of when you're lifting up, you don't have a lot of slack. I'm just gonna, get it up to about here. And you're gonna probably, if you can have someone to help you, even better. But you need to get here and get your fingers around that ribbon cable and press and then pull outwards to release that ribbon cable. You want to also keep an idea of how that ribbon cable goes back. In this case, the red, if you can see, there's a bit of red on the right-hand side. So I think right red, and that's where that's going to go. So I can just hang that down in there, and I can take this over because we have to take off this protective back. So let's go over and do that now. Anytime you're working with any sort of artwork or control deck with buttons, etc., what you want to do is I like to put it down on a piece of foam. You can use whatever you have lying around, even a towel. I like this because it kind of bumps it up a little bit. And now we're going to remove the 1, 2, 3, and then 4, 5, 6 screws to get to take the protective panel off to get at the inside where the spinner housing is. And I like to keep my little screws in some sort of receptacle. So in this case, just a little roll of tape. I put them right inside. Here we go. Off. And now we're looking at the inside of our deck. I'm just going to move this over. So this is the spinner that we are going to be replacing, and we're going to take the 2 screws out of here. And if we follow this wire all the way around, I'll move this a little bit closer so you can see. This wire attaches right into this area here. So that's going to come out in a moment. So let's take the other screws out of here. So I'm just going to leave them on a little piece of paper back here so I know that those are the 2 screws from the spinner. We're going to lift off this little plastic box, and here you can see this is the spinner, and we have to also release that from that side. We're just going to put this to the side for a moment and take off these. Those are a little bit smaller. They're not self-tapping. There's our screws there. So we can move that over. This piece is going to come right out now. There's the offending little clicky. Maybe we'll do something with that later on. And now let's open up the package. All right, so inside the package, of course, we have the spinner, which is quite a hefty quality item. You can, as soon as you feel it, you'll know you're dealing with something completely different than the stock arcade 1-up spinner. Absolutely. So let's put that off to the side. We've got our control board. I'm going to be pulling that out very carefully. This is what's going to be going in. That's a replacement. Whoops. And we also have our wires and our spacer. And I'll explain what that is. And of course, if anyone's been over to Glenn Planamento's YouTube channel, obviously go there. My hat's off to Mr. Planamento, who I've never met. One day I'd like to have the pleasure, who saw a need for something and went and did something about it. And that's pretty amazing to create something like this. And Glenn also does Tron joysticks, the blue Tron joysticks. He's currently out at the moment, but the next time he has them in, I'll be ordering one of those. So this is what we need right here. This is our replacement. I hope you can see that. Let's see if I can get that a little close up there. This is our replacement wiring. So what we have to do now is drop this into the replacement area here. And from what I know, there's 2 screw holes here that will line up. We can totally drop that in. It shouldn't be any problem. There are other screws here if needed, but certainly the stock screws will work. So let's go ahead and do that now. This could be a little important tip. I swapped out my screwdriver for one that has a magnetic end. So much easier to try to screw anything, especially when you've got bad eyes and fat hands and you can't see. Okay, the new spinner, she's in. So now we are going to take our wiring and put that in. So, of course, you can see on the deck here, it's got a big one and a small one, and you're going to be putting the small one in, just like so. You can see it's got a little bit, if you look closely, there, so you see that it has a little bit of an indent on one side. So we're going to be putting that out here on the inside. That's just going to fit down like that, nice and easy. Perfect. And then we're going to be doing the same up here into the board. There's our little ridges. Those are going to go down in here like this. They fit in perfectly. Excellent. All right. Now we're going to put this thing back together. All right, so the next thing that we're going to do is we're going to turn our control deck over so we have access to the front. And because I'm using a plexiglass control control deck protector, we're going to use this tiny little aluminum spacer that GRS, Glenn's Retro Show, provides, which goes right on the top. It doesn't have to screw in, it just sits right on the top. And then we're going to put the coup de grace on top of it. We're going to press it down. That is smooth as eggs, and as Dave Chappelle would say. All right, so let's have a look. We're going to find, we have this little hole here, if you can see that. And we are going to use our Allen key to tighten that. Sure, that's, got to find the right place. That seems to be really good. And that is a smooth, silky ride. All right, so let's put the ribbon cable back on, the control deck back on, and the protector and the artwork. And let's fire this baby up, and let's see what she's got. Okay, so the ribbon cable is back in. While you have the control deck off and the protector off, it's a good idea just to give it another little wipe down. You probably haven't done that for a while, just to clean it, get all the fingerprints off of it and the dust underneath off of it. And now we're ready to put the artwork back on. Although this doesn't really need it, but what the heck, what else am I going to do with it? Put that in. We're also going to remove this protective plastic. And let's put this back on. That little spacer was there so this would completely not rub against the control deck protector and scratch it in any way. So now we're on. All we have to do is put the screws back. Okay, the moment of truth. You're seeing it at the same time I'm seeing it. Let's power this up. Okay, that's always a good sign. And let's take this GRS spinner for a spin. Great timing. Thanks for the delay. Ooh, that is pretty silky sweet. Wow. Okay, that's just the menu. I'm done. Okay, of course we got to try Tempest. Let's check it out. Here we go. All right. Wow. This is night and day. This isn't even the same product. I mean, this feels like this is arcade quality right here. This is pretty crazy. Let's check out Major Havoc. Wow. Buttery. The verdict is thumbs up. My hat's off to Glenn Planamento at Glenn's Retro Show. This GRS arcade spinner is absolutely amazing and an incredible replacement for the arcade 1Up Asteroids and Asteroids 12 and 1, Centipede, etc. A very easy mod to make. As you saw, it didn't take very much time at all. And although I spent about $88 Canadian on this spinner, absolutely worth every penny. So again, not a product placement. You were seeing this in real time, the same as I was basically, and this thing is a winner.